How to handle the following situation. You call your candidate list and you find a great profile. But as soon as the candidate realizes that you are calling him to propose him a job, he interrupts you with the following objection: I'm not looking, or I'm not interested. How to handle this objection, how to engage with the candidate even though it seems that he's not looking at the moment. This is what I'm going to teach you in today's video. And by the way, if you like this type of content, show me your support. It's free. Like the video, subscribe to the channel so I know that you want more of those. Thank you very much. So first thing first, let's see how recruiters usually handle this objection. Let's start with the first one that is a pretty common mistake, unfortunately. So my candidate is telling me, sorry, I'm not interested. And the recruiter answers, okay, well, no problem, I understand, but should your situation change, please let me know. So the intention is good. The recruiter doesn't want to be pushy and he wants to keep in touch. But it is a pretty bad way to handle the situation because, as you can imagine, the recruiter won't ever hear from this candidate again, and the candidate won't even save the phone number. He doesn't have any incentive to do so. He's contacted all the time. For him, it's just a call among many others. So now let's see the second way recruiters usually handle this objection, and generally they have a bit more of experience. So same thing here, the candidate, I'm not interested, and then the recruiter will ask, okay, sure, I understand, but I was thinking, since I'm specialized in your market, I think that it could be interesting that we stay in touch because we never know how your situation may change. What about I give you a call in 3 months to follow it up? And you find an agreement with the candidate. Then as a second step, you ask for a referral. And by the way, would you know anyone who could be a good fit for this role? And I will call him to check if he could be interested, if he is available, etc. It is already a better way to handle the situation, to handle this objection, for 2 reasons. The first is that you are proactive. You don't wait the candidate to come to you. You plan the future. You are always a step ahead. And the second thing is that because you ask for a referral, you still try to get something out of the call that could be valuable today. Now let's see how I personally manage the objection. If I have a candidate stopping me straight away to say, I'm not interested or I'm not looking for a new job, my reaction would be the following. I will say, okay, fine, I understand. Thanks for your feedback, no problem. But may I ask you, would you mind if I share with you more information about the role in case you might know anyone who could be interested? And it is very powerful, and this for 3 reasons. The first one is that now I managed to keep the candidate on the phone. We are having a conversation. The most difficult part of a call are always the first 30 seconds. I handled the objection, and now we are talking. The second reason is, obviously now I managed to deliver my message. So the candidate is aware of my client's USPs, the benefits of the technical requirements, the environment, etc. He may decide to change his mind or not, but at least it will be an informed choice. He's aware of what he's doing, he's aware of what he is rejecting or accepting. And the third reason is that obviously it is also a great way to ask for referrals, and it looks very professional. If you like that first tip already and you find it useful, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It helps me a lot. Thank you. Now let's see the second way I manage this objection. It is by using a magic word that I use to handle actually so many objections. And it is very simple. It is why. Because if there is something that you really don't want to do to handle an objection, is to ask a closed question. And it is really a very common mistake. If your candidate is telling you, I'm not interested, I'm not looking, don't ask him, okay, but what if my client is able to offer you a better salary or remote work or whatsoever? Then would you be open to discuss further? Because it is a closed question, it won't work. So what you want to do, you want to open the conversation, and the best way to do it is to ask why. So my candidate is telling me, oh, I'm not interested, I'm not looking. My reaction would be, okay, fine, no problem. But by the way, may I ask you why? And then I try to understand why my candidate is apparently not interested in your opportunities at all. And it could be that he's happy with his salary, just got promoted, he really likes the job, etc. But this information is very important because it will enable me to understand what is important for my candidate. And now that I know what is important for him today, what he likes in his current job, what I want to know, the next step is to understand how could this be better? Because this is my job. My job is to get him a better job. Here is what I would say. I would say, okay, that's great to hear. I'm very happy that you are satisfied with your job for the following reasons. But if you could ask anything you want, what would be the ideal opportunity? Or what could make your professional life better? It could be in terms of technologies, in terms of flexibility, in terms of work-life balance, in terms of salary, in terms of career opportunities, coaching people, managing a team, having a more technical role, becoming an architect, whatsoever. What would it be? And an alternative question that I like to ask is, okay, well, I understand. Thanks for your feedback. I suggest that we stay in touch because I'm specialized in your market and we never know how things may change. So may I ask you a question? What would be the opportunity that really you wouldn't want to miss? Could you please describe me the opportunity that if it existed, you would absolutely want to hear about it? So I know that if we ever receive a similar request from one of our clients, I can contact you immediately and it is worth to give you a call. And the answers that your candidate will give to either of those questions is extremely valuable. Maybe your candidate will tell you, well, if really you can find me a similar job nearby, like at 20-30 minutes from my home, maybe I would be interested to hear from it. Or if you can find a similar job with a better pay and maybe the possibility to manage a juniors, or if I have the opportunity to work with the following technologies, or if really I can work in this specific sector with the following project, then, well, maybe you can give me a call. And then as a next step, what you want to do, you want to challenge that. For example, you could ask to your candidate, okay, well, but what if I have a client that is proposing that exact same project with remote work, but it's not nearby? Would you still be interested? And you reach an agreement on what would be a realistic agile role for your candidate. And this second approach is a bit more of a long-term approach, but this is what you want in a candidate-driven market. If your market is very niche and you are struggling to get candidates in your process, this is the way I would recommend. You need to build your strategy around your candidate. You need to work around your candidate. So when you find a top candidate and you manage to build a relationship, that you manage to engage, to open a conversation, and now that you know what is important to him, what you should do is now to be proactive, to look for tailor-made opportunity for him based on what he explained to you. You reach out to prospects, to clients that you have, explaining the situation because, as I said, if it is really a niche market, your client can recognize the value of your candidate. So you give him a call and say, okay, I know that you are usually looking for the following profiles. For the moment, I'm in touch with the following candidate. And he would be open to leave his current company at the following conditions because what he wants is to do that now. He would expect that in return, etc. Would it be a possibility? So I can get back to the candidate and propose him an opportunity that he may like and you can connect and discuss together. So this is really the best strategy if you are struggling to get candidates. And finally, a little reminder that is very important. There is no way to handle 100% of the objection that you will encounter. Nevertheless, for the most common objection that you face, at least you need a plan. You need to know how potentially to handle those objections. Because let's say that, for example, you get this rejection 20 times per day. If it works only 10% of the time, it is already potentially 2 additional candidates in your process. And this is how you make the difference in the long run. By fine-tuning and improving your processes here and there and by getting better 1% each time. So I really hope that this will help you to get more candidates in your process. And also, if you want to know how to make cold calling far less stressful when it comes to calling clients, then definitely what you should do is to watch that video next. And in the meantime, before leaving, please subscribe to the channel and like the video. Thank you very much and see you in the next one.